In nature documentaries, lions are often depicted as symbols of strength, appearing confident and dominant in many hunts. But in reality, victory isn't just about muscle or a powerful roar. Terrain, distance, timing, and the opponent's reaction can all change the entire course of events. So, in nature, what ultimately determines who gains control? Lions dominate the vast grasslands and scrublands of Africa, where the horizon unfolds like a battlefield with no hiding places. By day, they lie still in the shade of trees to conserve energy. But as the light fades, the savanna begins to stir. In the twilight, every step of the lion carries the feeling that a hunt could erupt at any moment. A lion's instinct isn't just about strength, but about the ability to choose the right moment to strike. They observe for a long time before accelerating, maintaining distance until the prey reveals the slightest vulnerability. When the signal appears, the entire pride moves almost simultaneously, creating pressure that causes the opponent to panic. On the savanna, victory often belongs to the one who controls the decisive moment. Spread across the savannas and open grasslands of East and Southern Africa, they move constantly in Botswana, Tanzania, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. In the Okavango Delta, prides can travel tens of kilometers a day to follow herds of antelope, maintaining a pace instead of ambushing, and thus controlling distance well. The open space allows them to observe from afar, but when the formation is stretched, pressure increases almost immediately, creating opportunities for exploitation. From the leeward side, a male lion appeared as the pack of cubs gathered and separated from their rhythm. So it didn't rush in. It lowered its body, remained silent, and gradually closed the distance, preparing for a burst of speed. When close enough, the lion accelerated suddenly, striking at their weak points and forcing the entire pack to scatter, completely disrupting their formation. The safe distance was eliminated. The cubs didn't have time to rejoin the pack, and the situation immediately changed. The lion pressed relentlessly, blocking their movement and applying pressure with each step, narrowing all escape routes. 2 cubs were caught in the chaos, forcing the entire pack to retreat. The lion quickly regained control, and the situation became irreversible. Leopards are widely distributed across savanna grasslands, woodlands, rainforests, mountainous regions, and even semi-desert areas throughout Africa. Their adaptability allows them to live in a variety of environments. They often utilize large trees, bushes, and rocky outcrops for resting, hiding, and observing their surroundings. However, when forced to move underground, that advantage diminishes rapidly, and any movement becomes easily detectable. From a hidden vantage point in the forest, a male lion noticed a leopard leaving a branch and moving along the ground, so it didn't approach immediately. It maintained its distance, observing the leopard's movement and waiting for the right moment. gradually closing the gap. When close enough, the lion accelerated, forcing its opponent to constantly change direction, thus putting the situation at a disadvantage. As space tightened, the leopard could no longer maintain a safe distance, and its advantage began to diminish. The lion closed in, locking its position and maintaining pressure step by step, restricting all possible movement. In a short time, complete control was established, and the situation became irreversible. This sequence of events shows that the leopard maintained its advantage through caution and the ability to retreat at the right time. Therefore, when it lost space, its options diminished rapidly. When the distance was lost, the outcome was often decided within seconds. Crocodiles are distributed along rivers, lakes, swamps, and wetlands throughout Africa, where abundant water provides favorable conditions for their habitat. They have long, low bodies, thick skin covered with tough scales, a strong snout with a wide jaw, 4 short but sturdy legs, and a muscular tail, which help their bodies adapt effectively to aquatic and coastal environments. However, when out of the water, their ability to control and move is significantly reduced. On the muddy riverbank, the lion noticed the crocodile heading towards the water. It lowered its body, approached from the side, and maintained a steady pace. The distance shortened with each step. The crocodile turned, and the lion surged forward, cutting off its path back to the water and forcing it to change direction on land. The distance to the water's edge was no longer enough for the crocodile to return in time. The lion closed in, maintaining an advantageous position and limiting its reaction. The environmental advantage was gone, and its control rapidly diminished. The outcome favored the lion. The crocodile had no chance of returning to the water. In the Serengeti and Masai Mara, hyenas are distributed along wildebeest migration routes, where food is readily available year-round. They are widespread throughout sub-Saharan Africa and often congregate near water sources, open grasslands, and prey movement paths. The open spaces and high population density provide a wide field of vision. Therefore, any solitary movement is quickly revealed and easily detected. Along the territorial boundary on the savanna, a male lion encounters a lone hyena and immediately stops to observe. It adjusts its approach and waits for the opportune moment. When the hyena changes direction, the lion closes the distance, and the increasing pressure forces the opponent to move constantly and gradually lose its rhythm. The constant pressure makes it impossible for the hyena to maintain a safe distance, even with quick reactions. The lion closes in, locks its position, and narrows the remaining gap, bringing the situation back under control. In a short time, the situation is no longer reversible. This situation clearly shows that in a highly competitive environment, hyenas survive through persistence and the ability to apply pressure. But when forced into a direct confrontation and losing control of the distance, the advantage diminishes rapidly, and the outcome is often decided in seconds. In the African savanna and grasslands, buffalo often congregate near rivers and water sources, where conditions for survival are stable. They live in large herds, sometimes numbering in the hundreds, maintaining tight formations and a wide observation range in open spaces. This environment allows for effective coordination among the herd, but also makes any separate movements easily noticeable. As the distance began to widen, the male lion noticed the buffalo had strayed from the herd and maintained a distance to observe. It adjusted its approach, waited for the right moment, and then gradually closed the distance. When the buffalo turned around, the lion accelerated quickly, forcing it to change direction and pushing the target further away, causing the distance to widen again. The buffalo tried to turn back, but was forced to constantly change direction, quickly destabilizing its rapid movement. The lion closed in, maintained a favorable position, and controlled its direction of movement, gradually shifting the initiative. In just a few seconds, the buffalo had no chance of rejoining the herd. In the herd structure, wild buffalo maintain safety through distance and coordination. Therefore, when separated, their advantage diminishes rapidly. When support is gone, the situation usually closes in a very short time. In the savannas and open grasslands of East and Southern Africa, wildebeest congregate in massive herds during the Great Migration, traveling thousands of kilometers from Serengeti to Masai Mara, following water sources and pastures. This constant rhythm of movement allows the entire herd to maintain distance and a wide field of vision. Therefore, any movement away from the herd is quickly noticed and leaves easily recognizable signs. From those signs, a lion lowers its body and observes the herd from a safe distance, not rushing to approach. It adjusts its movement, waits for the right moment, and then gradually closes the distance. When a herd slows down and deviates from the herd, the lion accelerates quickly, forcing the herd to change direction and push it away from the safe zone. The herd's movement starts to deviate from the herd, rendering attempts to rejoin ineffective, and the situation quickly becomes unstable. The lion follows closely, applying pressure and continuously closing the gap, limiting all options. In just a few seconds, the ability to maintain distance disappears, and control shifts entirely to the lion. In that disconnected state, the wildebeest's advantage is no longer maintained. Their strength lies in numbers and the synchronicity of the entire herd. Therefore, when separated, the advantage diminishes rapidly. Without support, the situation closes in a very short time. Among the open grasslands and semi-deserts of Africa, cheetahs operate in spacious areas with few obstacles and unobstructed views. In the Serengeti, they often perch on high mounds to observe from a distance before moving, thus choosing the appropriate approach. Their slender bodies, weighing between 90 and 150 pounds, allow for very rapid acceleration over short distances. But this advantage is dependent on the distance. When space is limited, speed decreases significantly, and they become vulnerable. It was this narrowed gap that caused the two lions to split up and approach from opposite sides, gradually blocking the escape route. They didn't rush in, but synchronized their movements, slowly narrowing the area and waiting for the right moment. Before the cheetah could create any escape route, one lion accelerated at close range, while the other cut off its escape, forcing the cheetah to constantly change direction and gradually lose its rhythm. The cheetah's speed advantage was quickly lost, and the momentum shifted. The lions closed in, taking advantageous positions and blocking all escape routes, narrowing its options. In just a few seconds, the cheetah had no more space to escape. Its speed advantage was completely neutralized, ending the confrontation in a very short time. Every lion's confrontation is a combination of strength, patience, and control of the situation. They rely not only on muscle power, but also utilize space, distance, and timing to gain an advantage. When those factors are controlled, even faster, more resilient, or more pack-dwelling species can be put at a disadvantage. And in the moment when all conditions converge, control is no longer a competition, but an outcome that is decided almost instantly. In many different environments of Africa, wild dogs don't rely on individual strength, but on organized movement to approach prey. They observe, adjust their position, and wait for the moment when the target becomes unstable. When a small change occurs, the entire pack accelerates simultaneously and forms an attack in seconds. What happens when just one small deviation is enough to completely change the outcome? On the vast grasslands, lions are muscular predators that excel in short bursts of attack. An adult can reach speeds of nearly 60 kilometers per hour over short distances, enough to take down large prey. When hunting, they prefer ambushes to long chases, and females often take on the role of approaching. When faced with this hunting tactic, the pack of wild dogs doesn't charge straight in, but maintains distance, circling and changing positions rhythmically. They observe the lion's reactions to find openings. As the lion turns in various directions, the pack of dogs closes in short bursts before withdrawing, maintaining consistent pressure. Faced with successive close-range attacks, the lion switches to defense and loses its initial attack rhythm. It tries to react with short lunges, but the dogs dodge in time and continue to press. After a short distance, the lion chooses to leave the area to reduce risk. This result shows that in open space, coordination, and a consistent movement rhythm can diminish the effectiveness of individual attacks, even from a superior species. In arid and semi-desert regions of Africa, such as Namibia and Botswana, oryx are adapted to conditions with little water and high temperatures. They move across open terrain, observing from a distance and detecting danger early. When unusual signs are detected, oryx retreat before being approached, maintaining a safe distance and a steady rhythm of movement in open environments. From an initial distance, the pack of wild dogs maintained a slow pace to avoid detection. When the oryx accelerated its retreat, the entire pack simultaneously increased speed and pursued closely behind. They maintained close contact in short bursts, preventing the prey from stabilizing its course. Forced by this constant pace, the oryx had to change direction and gradually slow down. It tried to maintain its running rhythm and find an escape route, but all its movements were followed. After a few seconds, the pack of dogs closed in and took control, ending the chase. This shows that initial advantages can be quickly eroded when the pursuit is maintained at a steady pace. In the vast grasslands, wild buffalo are not predators, but possess very strong defensive instincts. They prioritize protecting their young and react quickly when they detect danger. When threatened, adult buffalo turn to face the threat instead of running away, maintaining their stance to protect the herd and continuing this pattern of reaction. As soon as an opening appeared, the pack of wild dogs spotted a buffalo that had separated from the group and began observing from a distance. They circled around, adjusting their positions to observe its reaction. When the buffalo turned defensively, the entire pack accelerated and closed in short bursts, forcing the buffalo to react in multiple directions simultaneously. Having to turn in multiple directions gradually destabilized the buffalo. It tried to counterattack to break free, but the pack of dogs followed closely, maintaining their pace. After a few seconds, the dogs gained a favorable position and controlled the situation, demonstrating that when cornered in open space, defensive capabilities diminish. On the edges of forests and rocky terrain in Africa, baboons are well adapted to a variety of conditions. They are agile climbers, use their limbs efficiently, and observe their surroundings to detect danger. When threatened, adults can stand still to create an opening before retreating, maintaining their agility. When the monkey leaves its safe position and descends to a lower area, the pack of wild dogs maintains a wide formation and approaches cautiously. They move in circles, adjusting their positions to observe the monkey's reaction. When the distance is close enough, the entire pack accelerates and closes in from multiple directions, forcing the monkey to constantly turn. The constant movement diminishes the monkey's ability to control its position. It heads towards areas with trees or rocks to escape, but the pack of dogs remains in pursuit. After a short distance, the pack of dogs takes a favorable position and forces the monkey out of the area, ending with the collective advantage. In tropical and subtropical regions, crocodiles live in rivers, lakes, and swamps, where many animals congregate to drink. In Africa, Nile crocodiles appear along large rivers, where the food source is always stable. Most of the time, they lie still near the water's edge, observing their surroundings, maintaining a waiting position. The pack of wild dogs approached and began circling the grass. They maintained their distance, then shifted positions step by step to test the crocodile's reaction. As the distance narrowed, the pack accelerated and closed in from multiple directions, creating constant pressure that forced the crocodile to turn and find its way back to the water. This pressure caused the crocodile to constantly change direction and struggle to maintain stability. It tried to break through the encirclement, but the pack of wild dogs kept blocking its path. After a few seconds, the crocodile found an opening and slithered towards the water. The encounter ended when it returned to its familiar environment, demonstrating the advantage of adapting to the environment. In open woodlands and semi-desert areas, hyenas live in well-organized groups. They travel long distances to find food, preferring open areas with ample opportunity to approach prey. When approaching or competing for food, each individual maintains a specific position, creating a stable structure in their movement. Based on this movement pattern, the pack of wild dogs doesn't approach directly but observes. One dog moves forward to attract attention, while the other circles around to block the hyena's path. When the hyena reacts, the pack of dogs quickly shifts positions and applies pressure from multiple directions. This shift forces the hyena to constantly turn, distracting its attention. It tries to maintain its position and react, but cannot maintain control when approached from multiple directions. After a while, the pack of dogs gradually reduces the distance, while the hyena retains its original position. When both have high endurance, the one that maintains a coordinated rhythm and changes positions appropriately will control the situation better in the long run, contributing to the balance between species in the same environment. In the grasslands of East and South Africa, such as the Serengeti, Impalas often stand on the boundary between the grass and the bush. They forage and observe, always ready to leave when they detect danger. When threatened, the entire pack disperses within seconds, completely altering their movement pattern. Noticing a change in the prey's movements, the pack of wild dogs began to corner the impala, relentlessly approaching from multiple directions, forcing it to dive into the water to escape. Instead of attacking immediately, they stalked along the banks, observing the prey's swimming direction in the middle of the stream. Waiting for the moment, the impala slowed down and lost its rhythm. The entire pack accelerated, swarming from both sides, cornering and gradually narrowing the space in the water, leaving the prey with no escape route. After a few seconds, the pack of wild dogs gained control of the area, ending the chase. This demonstrates that dispersion only provides a temporary advantage when the predator remains close. Between dense forests and sparsely forested areas, leopards often choose high vantage points to observe their surroundings. They live solitary lives, move discreetly, and avoid direct confrontations with other species. When they detect danger, leopards usually leave their location early and move to another area, maintaining distance and preserving their advantage in the complex environment. From their elevated position, the pack of wild dogs sensed movement and began tracking from the ground. They moved slowly, maintaining a wide formation to control the direction of travel. When the leopard left the branch and touched the ground, the pack accelerated and closed in from multiple directions, forcing it to react constantly. Closed on the ground, the leopard had to constantly turn and began to slow its pace. It sped towards a wooded area to find an escape route, but the pack of wild dogs remained in pursuit. After a few seconds, the leopard reached a favorable terrain and broke away from the chase, demonstrating how terrain determines the ability to maintain distance. Unlike many predators that rely on brute strength, wild dogs maintain their advantage by consistently coordinating their movements throughout the approach. They observe, wait, and exploit subtle changes in their prey's behavior to strike at the right moment. In their natural environment, the outcome doesn't come from a single moment, but from the ability to control the sequence of events. When the rhythm of movement is controlled, the outcome is also gradually determined